One of my least favorite historical myths is this idea that history repeats itself. It doesn't. Now, it's not uncommon to be told that history repeats itself, and if you want to stop this repetition, all that you have to do is learn about history. But that simply is not true. Now, the reason for this is rather simple. So let's look at any single event. Now, if you look at all the factors that led into that one event, you'll see that there were hundreds, if not thousands, of different factors that all had to coincide in order to produce that one event. So let's imagine that we actually have a time machine and we can go into the past and pull away one of those factors. What happens to that event then? Well, it completely changes if it even happens at all. Now, I think a great example of this is actually the movie The Butterfly Effect. So, say whatever you will about that movie, but they get this basic idea right. If you go into the past and change one thing, then everything else changes. But let's now take this into a more realistic setting. So, often you'll see people who claim that if you look at the 1930s, you can see it being repeated today. Now, is that accurate? When we look at the factors that led to the rise of the Nazi Party and to Nazi Germany, we don't see any of that stuff actually happening now because those factors actually extend far beyond the 1930s. Now, one of the factors that actually led to the rise of the Nazi Party was actually World War One, and what World War One did to Germany was basically cripple it. Out of World War One, you really have this completely new country emerging. Now, this Germany that emerges after World War One is really built on a faulty foundation. You have a brand new government, a brand new political party. You have a economy that is crashing. You have all this guilt that is going around. You have a system that is imploding on itself as soon as it's being built. During this time period, you have a number of different coups that are actually being set out. You have different governments that are coming and going, different political parties that are trying to shape this new world. And by the time that you actually get to Hitler, you have a German government that is already crumbling upon itself. That is why Hitler was actually able to seize power, because the government that preceded him was already going away. At the same time, you have this very long history of Germanic leaders that are authoritarian, that produced a better situation for the German people, and people are wanting to go back to that time period. You also have a world that is weary from the First World War One, and they don't want to continue going about this, so they let things slide. The environment that produced Nazi Germany is so vastly different from what we have today that there's really no risk of history repeating itself because it simply can't. We don't have those same factors in order to lead to a repetition.